Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Old stories cast long shadows, and tonight, one such shadow stretches from the silent halls of Mellenbeck to the heart of the Camarilla. Welcome back to Hidden TV, where we get you the latest news about the dark night out there. Tonight is already packed with the latest news, so get your blood and sit down. Hidden TV, get your news.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
In Bremen, Prince Lydia Albertoni has made bold claims. She says that last year, during the events at Mellenbeck, she was led by voices, those of Arkadin and Istis, into the tomb of the Justicar Ariston. There, she found his torpid body, once dried out by the Tremere, but now unnaturally nourished and ready. And then, she says, she killed him. A dramatic tale. Maybe too dramatic. Let's dive into it and hear what our spokesmen have to say.
Let's just call it what it is. Albertoni basically confessed to diablerie. There's no dancing around that. She said she heard voices, followed them into a crypt, and drained a Justicar dry. That's not a defense. That's a confession.
No. But context matters. She didn't present it as a justification, but as a warning. She's saying she wasn't in full control. 2 elders were influencing her. That's not nothing. You know how deep the clan of the moon can get in your head.
Yeah, and I also know how convenient that excuse is. 2 Malkavians whisper in your ear, and suddenly you're tearing apart one of the most powerful figures in the Camarilla. That's not influence, that's fiction. And if they really wanted the Ventru Justicar dead, why not do it themselves? Why hand the power to a Ventru elder? Ventru? More like non-true.
Maybe because she was close to him. Maybe she had access they didn't. And look, manipulation isn't always rational. This isn't a courtroom. It's the Camarilla. Things happen in layers.
Come on. She diablerized a Justicar, then had the audacity to stand up in Bremen and act like she's the one handing out justice now, deciding who's in the Camarilla and who's out. That's not grief or guilt talking. That's power politics.
Okay, but let's be real. No one else is talking about what happened at Mellenbeck. At least she's bringing it forward. She's saying, ask questions, look deeper. That's more than most princes are doing.
Sure, but let's not forget the actual law. Only a Justicar, confirmed by conclave, can strip a prince or a city of Camarilla recognition. And last I checked, Albertoni isn't wearing a red sash or carrying a seal. And yet, she proclaims that if the domain of Hamburg should get back to the Malkavians, she will not accept it, and will see the Malkavian elder Estis not as part of the Camarilla. I mean, what the...
No, but the system is broken. If no one else steps up, someone has to. Maybe she's just doing what everyone's too afraid to.
Or maybe she's rewriting the story before someone else tells it. Blaming Istes, blaming Arkadan, classic misdirection. She walks away looking like the victim, and suddenly we all forget what she actually did.
And what if she is a victim? What if everything she said is true?
Then the truth needs more than words. It needs proof. Until then, I'm not buying it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Also, a message reached our studio last night. Internal documents from within the Clan of the Rose reveal a different perspective on the current situation, one that may challenges the dominant narrative.
Internal discussions within the Clan of the Rose have shifted sharply following last night's events. Many Toreador are drawing direct lines between the Kate Ashford's abdication and the death of a former Prince of Hamburg, Felix von Thurn, both Toreador, both allegedly ousted by Aestus. They claim Felix twice offered abdication, but was instead lured out, silenced with fleshcraft, and killed, though some argue that tale has grown more brutal in retelling. Now, with Ashford gone and threats made against her seneschal, many Toreador fear a repeat of history, and see the Molenbeek Accord, a peace treaty which they helped draft, being openly ignored. One internal message reads, "Let others destroy, we build." We remember, and perhaps most telling, less than half the real power players ever signed the accord. To recognize it, some say, would be to admit war could exist inside the Camarilla, a notion that defies its very foundation, and just hiding behind it and using as an ultimatum is a cowardly act. In the end, the Molenbeek Accord may have been inked in hope, but its authority remains fragile.
Chapter systems are offline.
Number 1 for today's hits and all-time favorites.
You like a good rave? You have some dancing skills in your blood? You want to show your moves? On the 22nd and 23rd of August, the domain of Westphalia Lippe invites every Bruja and friends of the clan to a good old rave. Don't miss it out.
Ready to rave? Time to party all night long. Get your invitation and rave through the night. Leave your elders and childs at home.
And we're back, ready to mingle. Time for some short news.
Anarchy in Hamburg? With Kate Ashford stepping down, her seneschal now faces the challenge of maintaining order in the domain. Disputes? Elder Gangrel Carnifex has voiced his discontent with the Prince of East Frisia and his treatment of Clan Gangrel members. Blood heists, a series of repeated raids on hospital blood supplies, has stirred concern. Officials warn of an imminent breach of the masquerade.
And once again, that concludes our news time, brought to you by HiddenTV.fm. You have a story or informations to share? You want to have your advertisement in our show? Contact us or visit our website on www.hiddentv.de. Hidden TV, get your news.
Let's go. This is your radio. This is your station.